You probably send a bunch of texts or SMS every day, but when you hit send, what happens? When you send a text message to someone else, there's a long, complicated path from your phone to theirs. If you've ever wondered just how that network works, we will break it down for you. SMS stands for Short Message Service. It is a method of communication that sends texts between cell phones or from a PC or a handheld to a cell phone. It is called a short message because it has a maximum size of 160 characters, which includes letters, numbers, or symbols. These short alphanumeric strings don't require a lot of bandwidth and are transmitted with low latency. When you send a SMS message, the message is forwarded to the SMSC, which stands for Short Message Service Center, with the SMS standard. The SMS standard defines what information is sent in a text message, what bits of binary code make up each letter, and how this data is organized so that sending and receiving devices can communicate with each other. The actual data format for the message includes things like the length of the message, a timestamp, the destination phone number, and the actual message. These details are described by the Protocol Description Unit, which stands for PDU, which takes the form of a string of hexadecimal octets and semidecimal octets. The PDU string contains not only the message but also a lot of meta information about the sender, SMC, the timestamp, etc. The first few octets contain information about where to send the message to, which SMC, and the sender's own number as well. The length of the information also must be defined in the string so that the receiver knows exactly what to look for. After the sender and receiver information comes the protocol identifier and a tag to identify the data encoding scheme used in the message, which will allow different receivers to know how to decode the actual message. There's also a timestamp and the information on the length of the user's message before the user's actual message is encoded. The PDU string is further converted to binary, and the binary PDU string flows through the SMSC in the form of radio waves.
The cell phone antenna sends out a specific type of wave called radio waves. Radio waves are a type of electromagnetic radiation that has the longest wavelength in the electromagnetic spectrum. Radio waves transmit data in the form of oscillating electric and magnetic fields called the electromagnetic field, EMF. But how do these radio waves encode our message? The text is coded as binary, which means zeros and ones, which is sent out in bursts. You may think that the message is sent directly to the recipient's phone, but the antenna in your cell phone is very small and can only send the message within a few miles. But that's where the cell tower comes in. You may have noticed, but there are cell towers present every few miles, and the area a cell tower covers is called a cell.
Carriers are service providers that sell you a phone and a contract to provide you cell service. Most cell providers use either GSM, which stands for Global System for Mobile Communications, or CDMA, which stands for Code Division Multiple Access. These networking architectures work by sending out or receiving messages from your cell phone to nearby base transceiver station, BTS, also known as a cell tower. The information is transmitted by the base station cell tower and then handed off to the network switching. The network handles the authentication and encryption of transmitted data between two recipients. Each carrier has access to a home location registrar (HLR) database that contains the information of subscribers and is responsible for matching phone numbers to accounts with service information. So when you get that next text message from your dog saying, "I'm glad I could help with your homework. I knew it was giving you a hard time," that's the magic that happens when sending a text message from individual to individual. From encoding your text message to transmitting it as a radio wave and handing it off to your carrier. That's the whole process. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new.